two for now. One, and I think in your address you are able to capture it well, but I want you as you leave here to notice 2 points. One is that we've had cases where, and the perception is there with the public, that the three agencies, that is the DCI, EACC, and the ODPP, in some cases they don't work together. DPP will say he lost a lot of cases in court. The conviction rate is very low because of the kind of investigations done by the EACC. EACC will say, we've done a good job, and the problem is not us, it is DPP, and vice versa. At some point also the DCI comes on board. But if you look at section 11, subsection 1b, in addition to the functions of the Commission under Article 252 of the Constitution, the Commission shall, and I go to B, work with the other state and public offices in the development and promotion of standards and best practices in integrity and anti-corruption. That is a very critical issue for us as a committee. It worries us. If you look at the report from the EACC, the conviction rate is very low. I don't even know the percentage, perhaps 10% or 5%. And you are talking of citizens who have been subjected to court processes. The second problem is D of that act. Investigate and recommend to the Director of Public Prosecutions of any acts of corruption, bribery, and so on. The investigative process is placed before your institution, if approved, of course. So, and we have been addressing as a committee, there is normally some rush. You know, we want to speed up, we want to arrest, and we actually put less emphasis on the issue of investigations. Why, for example, do you present an accused person to court for prosecution? Then you ask for more time to undertake investigations. So I wanted to get from you, really, what do you think is the cause of this low rate of convictions? And what is the extent you attach investigations to success? Of course, I know you know the answer, but it worries us because we find it very difficult that most of the cases actually don't succeed in courts. You may blame the judiciary, yes, that's okay, but is it true? So those are the areas. Those are two key issues which we want to get your view on the same. I know you've dealt with it earlier, but just address it more specifically.
Okay. Thank you, Chair. I think, first of all, maybe I need to clarify from you. I don't think it would be blaming the judiciary. The cycle of investigation up to prosecution, either to conviction or acquittal, it's a wheel. It's a wheel, and if one gear is worn out, the wheel is not smooth. I know the ODPP. We were together. We used to be workmates somewhere, and I know him on one-to-one. The issue of these three organs not working in harmony I think it is more of an element of personality. An element of personality. And I'll give you an example outside investigation. Look at Ethiopia and Eritrea. For 20 years, they were not talking. A new leadership comes, take a flight to Eritrea. Within 1 month, these countries that were not talking to each other, everything has been normalized. For 21 years, they were not talking. Total hostility. But within 1 month, everything, they have opened the border, flights have resumed and everything. On similar example, if I'll be given this job by this committee, one of the first priorities that I've talked about is to get in touch with these two gentlemen, look at what are the main issues that are dragging us apart, come as one team. If there's a case that the DCI is handling, they are almost 80% complete in investigation. Whatever gaps they have, we have the information, we'll give them. We'll give them, say, get this information from us. I intend to establish an office of a full-time liaison officer who will be giving any information that the DCI wants, that it can assist in any prosecution. Likewise, I'll talk to them that they also need to have an officer that in case we are dealing with certain investigation and they have certain information, we are able to get that information very fast. So in short, we are talking of reducing the government bureaucracy because government is very bureaucratic. A letter from one ministry in Nairobi to another ministry in Nairobi will take even 10 days. Practically, you see them dated. Today is 14th, hii barua ilitoka tarehe 2. So you wonder, from here to this office, there was no mechanism. So those are the things that we are going to address. And the issue of conviction rate, the conviction rate, I know you are a legal person. The conviction rate in Kenya, the poor rate of conviction cut across the board. Even if you look at the cases of homicide, other criminal cases that are based on the penal code, if you do a research, you'll find that conviction rate normally is very low. Is bad, because what we need to do, let us look at how the FBI does its business. We have to rely a lot on technical capacity in gathering evidence rather than human capacity. Human capacity will be there, but we need to blend the two. If you look at the 1998 bomb blast, all those culprits were caught. And there was nobody who was squeezed by the investigators. They just used technology. They went to the American embassy there, tried to get the debris. They got the chassis number of the car. They went to Nissan Corporation. The watchman said it was a Nissan. They went to Japan and said, Gari, it was used here, then it was sold to Dubai. Dubai, they followed. It was sent to Kenya. These are the passport number of these fellows. And all the guys were arrested. So what we need to do, and you can see right now, the DCI is very fast in investigation cases of maybe murder and whatever, because they are upgrading their technical capacity. So likewise, let us upgrade the government system of all transactions. If I want to check a culprit, suspected person, about his illicit wealth, I am able to go to an integrated server that is linked with KRA, central bank, whatever, and I get the details that, yes, this man, a month ago, he has bought a new house worth 50 million. I do a retract of what kind of income he has, and then you will not need 2 months or 2 years to investigate that case. You may need only 10 days if he fails to explain how he got his wealth. So we need to computerize most of the systems. And this is a country that has got a lot of potential young men who are fully trained in ICT. In fact, quite a number of them are jobless. Why don't we change the thinking of government and how it does business on using electronic system as opposed to hard print? So some of these things, from the face value, you see that there is poor investigation, low conviction rate, but we need to look at the real causes of those things. Thank you.
Okay. Members, I think you are done. Let me appreciate the nominee. Before I make my last remarks, do you have anything to say? Mr. Mbarak?
There are two things. First, I think I'm through and I'm happy because I was nervous, secretly. I've never appeared before this kind of committees. We just watch on TV. And I can assure you, by 4:30 last night I was awake, trying to figure out what will happen to me. But I really want to thank you, Chairman, and the members. You've been very, very friendly, the way you promised me that it will be very interactive. And there are things that, maybe two things I want to talk about in case I'm given this position. One, the fight against corruption in this country is a very difficult task. It has to start from somewhere. It has started, but maybe it's wobbling. And what is required is for the missile to take off. Looking at the target, it will take time to clearly bring sanity as far as corruption is concerned in this country. We need the support of different elements of the population. We need the citizen support. We need the media support. These people are very useful. When I was with the KCC, there are certain cases that if it was not for the media, bad things would have happened. But because of the media, we managed to scare the guys, and they took off. So the media can work with us. Don't bash us too much. I know we are poorly rated. We have to restore our image. Those are my former colleagues that if I'm given approval, I'm going to join them. I can assure you those officers are very hardworking. They are very hardworking, but the environment of corruption is very unique. There is something that I know quite a number of you are legal officers. When I attended my FBI course, the director dealing with corruption, he described corruption as the most unique crime on earth. It is the only offense that has got no complainant. Somebody has given money and the other one has received. Nobody is complaining. It is you as the state to prove that something took place. When people break your house, you go and report the police station and say, nyumba ilivunjwa, walitoka na TV. If it is a case of road accident, hii mtu aligonga gari yangu. Corruption, there is nobody complaining. If it is a roadblock, if it is a construction deal, if it is a property acquisition, things change hands underground, and it's a very difficult task. But this does not make it impossible to deal with it. We need a multiple approach to this issue. System improvement, code of ethics that are implemented and enforced, not rituals that we have this policy on gift, we have this policy on whatever. Adherence to rules and regulations, code of ethics, citizen participation, organs that can facilitate the issues to deal with prosecution, committee like this one and others. So my promise is that I will try my best. I will not be scared. I will not get orders from anywhere, and I'll be very fair to all the citizens.
Now, I want to thank my colleagues. We are on recess actually as we speak now. I want to really thank you, my colleagues, for having time to be here for us to vet this nominee. I want to thank the members of the Fourth Estate also, because minus you, Kenyans would not be able to watch these proceedings live. And I would like to say that Mr. Mbarak if this committee and the House approves your nomination, I'm impressed by the fact that you intend to look at various areas where there are gaps. And this committee will be ready and available and willing to give the support in passing those appropriate legislations on, I realize you're talking about asset recovery and maybe classifying the various corruption cases, and all other areas where we feel we need to come up with laws. This committee will be ready, and even as we look forward, welcome, Honorable Kaluma.
Just come from
Yeah. Yeah. Of course, we know where we've come from. And thank you for the efforts you've made to be here. So I want to stop this. Honorable Kaluma, member of this committee. Maybe Kaluma, you just say for the nominee to hear your voice. And for the record. Because you are actually done. Yes. So just just introduce yourself.
As a nominee, my name is Peter Kaluma. I'm the Member of Parliament from Bay Town. I'm very keen on the fight against corruption. I will not take the committee back, but I will look through your nomination to consider together with my colleagues your approval very keenly.
Thank you, Mheshimiwa.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you, Honorable Kaluma. So, Mr. Mbarak, you are released. You've gotten documents. You are back your documents.
I'm here to get my certificate.
Your certificate, can we hand them over to them? We've gone through your documents. They're in order. And we now want to give them back to you.
Thank you.
No, just finish that and then
I'll do it. Thank you, and I really appreciate how you took me through. I'm not sweating.
Yeah. Just a moment, members, before we. Okay, before you leave. What is going on? Yeah, before you leave here, Mr. Mbarak, the rest now is for us in the House. All you can do is to, you know what you will do. Just to, yeah. So the rest is for us. Shortly, we will report back to the House. We'll make a decision, but we must appreciate your very simple but clear presentation. And your colleagues behind you, these are Kenyans who have stood with you as friends, and we want also to appreciate their presence here. This is a house that belongs to you people, because these are the elected members, and we represent, this is now National Assembly sitting here. I am representing the Speaker. So this is National Assembly sitting here. And we want to tell Kenyans and you people that Parliament is an assembly of elected members, and we should be free. Help us to tell the world that this is a friendly house to serve Kenyans through these processes and other processes. So we wish you well. If you succeed, we will be with you again as we oversight the commission together. Thank you very much, and you are now released. And I would like to request members to remain behind shortly so that we deal with some in-house matters. Members of the 40th State, thank you very much also.